Okay, this is a reaction video. This is Henry Talks Football. Will Liverpool drop points and let Arsenal back in? Well, Liverpool plays Wednesday, tomorrow, against on the road at Aston Villa. And Aston Villa is a depleted Aston Villa team, to be fair. But will Liverpool drop points and let Arsenal back in? If that ends up being a draw or a loss for Liverpool, then they may be 8 points going into the weekend with Arsenal playing home against West Ham, and Arsenal win brings it down to 5 points, or they may lose the game and bring Arsenal back within 4 points. But again, I don't believe that's going to happen. I think Liverpool is going to beat Aston Villa tomorrow. I think Liverpool is right now too good. But let's see what Henry has to talk about.
The next 8 days for Liverpool Football Club could be make or break for their season. And you're probably thinking, what on earth are you talking about? Well, Liverpool currently are top of the Premier League, in a fantastic position in the Champions League in the last 16, and in the League Cup final. Arne Slot has got Liverpool firing all cylinders. But there's a narrative out there that Liverpool will drop points and Liverpool will allow Arsenal back into the top.
Look, Liverpool will drop points, but I think Arsenal will drop points as well. Arsenal has no attack. They have no strikers. It's going to be very difficult for Arsenal to come back in when they don't have goal scorers.
Title race. If they are going to drop points, it is going to be in these next 3 games because they are really, really tough. But we know Liverpool are a confidence team. When they're on it, they're the best team in the world. They're the best team in Europe. However,
I'm not sure they're the best team in Europe, but yeah, they're pretty darn close.
These next 3 games are so tough, it's unreal. Aston Villa away, under the lights, at Villa Park tomorrow. Manchester City and Newcastle. And I believe...
Yeah, I think, again, and they also have to play Arsenal at home before the end of the year.
I believe City is away as well. So, I honestly believe if Liverpool win these next 3 games, they will be crowned Premier League champions.
I think if they win 2 of the 3, they'll be Premier League champions.
At the end of May. They've got the most informed team. Their manager has, got them playing some fantastic football. They're going to win silverware this season. I honestly believe that. But these next 3 games decide it all for me. Villa Park's a tough place to go. Manchester City as well. Absolutely battered Newcastle. If they get a positive result against Real Madrid, they will be right up for it. And as well...
That's going to be so difficult at the Bernabeu. Look, Manchester City is going to be able to attack, and they are going to be able to score, I think, against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. However, the Real Madrid will be able to score against Manchester City. I think Manchester City is going to lose that game.
Liverpool beat Villa. They will go into that City game right up for it. We're going to break it down. Make sure you go down. Drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you have that subscribe button. We're 5,000 subscribers away from hitting the big 50k. We're about, I think, 7 or 8 subscribers away from 45k. So go down and hit this subscribe button. Now,
yes, please do that for me as well.
I've said this for a long time. Liverpool, for me, will win the Premier League. I really like their front line. I think they've got the best centre-back in the world. I think they've got one of the best midfielders in the world at the moment in Ryan Gravenberch. But look at these games. A Merseyside derby at Anfield, not going to be easy, right? I do think they'll get past Everton. I think they'll comfortably batter Southampton. They play Newcastle in 8 days' time, which will essentially be like a warm-up for the League Cup final. But those 3 games are so tough. I think Aston Villa have got something like 5 games in like 14 or 15.
Look, when you look at those 6 games, Aston Villa, I think, is going to give Liverpool problems. I still think Liverpool's going to win. I think Manchester City may beat Liverpool. It really depends on how Manchester City's feeling. Now, Liverpool didn't look very good against Wolves yesterday. Not yesterday, but on Sunday. But they were good enough to beat them. They play at home against Newcastle. That's going to be look. They have Newcastle's number, regardless. And so they'll beat Southampton. The game against Everton will be difficult in and of itself, but not too difficult that Liverpool can't beat them. Again, I maybe Man City, maybe Aston Villa, but that's about it.
Games or something like that. I think, 15 days, they've got 5 games. So they've also got a tough game at the weekend, Aston Villa. So they're probably going to have to rotate against Liverpool, because at the weekend, I think they play, is it Chelsea? Yeah, and the way Chelsea are playing right now, I do expect Aston Villa to probably give them a really good run for their money. My honest opinion is they're going to be without Gakpo tomorrow as well. There's been some news come out regarding that he will be unavailable. Arne Slot has said that. So the front three, probably the same front three that played at the weekend. Sky Sports News put out earlier that Arne Slot confirms Liverpool forward Cody Gakpo will miss tomorrow's game. That is a bit of a gut punch. He has been really, really good for Liverpool this season. One of their best forwards.
Yeah, but I've heard that Aston Villa's going to be moved out 7 of their stars, but we'll see how that pans out.
Alongside, Mohamed Salah. He's been performing on that left-hand side, can also play the 9 role. But this is what Sky Sports put out earlier. I'm not going to play the video, but they did confirm he will be missing the Villa game tomorrow. So these 3 games, my predictions, I believe Liverpool will beat Aston Villa. If they beat Aston Villa, I think they will go and beat Manchester City. The Newcastle game, 3.
Again, I'm not so sure about beating Manchester City. Possibly. Maybe that looks like more like a draw. Aston Villa versus Liverpool looks like a draw. Manchester United City versus Liverpool looks like a draw. Newcastle against Liverpool at Newcastle. Liverpool at Anfield. That looks like a win for Liverpool. Liverpool will beat Southampton. They should beat Newcastle for the Carling Cup Championship or the EFL Cup, and they should beat Everton. But I see a draw, and a win.
3 days after is tough as well. Newcastle, I know they just got battered by City, but they are a very, very good side. They've got some good players in Gordon, Isak, Tonali, Bruno G. I can see Newcastle getting something at Anfield, maybe a draw. Now, while we're looking at Liverpool's fixtures, Arsenal play West Ham at home.
They play West Ham, they play Nottingham Forest away, then they play Manchester United away, and then they play on the 16th, they play a game that I will be at, Chelsea. They'll play Chelsea at home.
If Liverpool beat Aston Villa before Arsenal even kick a ball,
they will be 10 points ahead of Arsenal.
They will be 10 points clear. Now that is absolutely insane and will be a huge mental block on Arsenal. But it can...
Not really. I don't think so. Look, Arsenal knows what they have to do. Okay, Arsenal knows they cannot afford to drop any points as far as Liverpool is winning. They can't afford to drop any points. I don't think so. I think Arsenal knows what they have to do.
Can also work both ways. If Liverpool lose to Aston Villa, when Arsenal, if they go and beat West Ham, the gap will go from 7 to 4 points. Going into that Manchester City game, if Manchester City were to somehow beat Liverpool as well, and then Arsenal somehow get a result against Nottingham Forest, there could be 1 point in it.
I think Arsenal can beat Forest at Forest. Okay, I think Arsenal can beat West Ham. I think they can beat Forest. I think they can beat Manchester United. I think they can beat Chelsea. The question is, will they? Again, they do not have an attacking player or an out-and-out goal scorer that can put the ball in the back of the net. They had to use Marino to do it against Leicester City, and they had to wait to the 80th minute and they bring him off the bench to do so.
I do believe Liverpool will beat Aston Villa and City, though. That is my prediction. This Liverpool team right now, firing on all cylinders. Of course, Manchester City have to play Real Madrid tomorrow night as well. So they are very much confidence-based teams. I'm not going to lie to you. You look at Man City's run of games as well, going into that Liverpool game and after the Liverpool game as well. They play Real Madrid, Liverpool, and then us, Spurs. So they've
and look, you guys are nothing to write home about. Then you have the Plymouth Argyle in the FA Cup, and at home against Nottingham Forest, and then against Brighton. It's going to be very difficult for Manchester City, no question about it.
not got an easy run of games. They've also got Forest away in there as well in their next 6 games. So that's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination either. But I do think Liverpool have got more than enough in the tank to get past these 3 games. And I want to look at Arsenal's games as well, because obviously they're their main title threat. Arsenal have got a really difficult run as well. They've got West Ham, who, let's be honest, West Ham.
Yeah, like I said, they have West Ham, then they play Nottingham Forest, then they play Manchester United, and then Chelsea, what game, like I said, I'll be at, then home against Fulham, and then at Everton. Now, Everton is going to be a very difficult game because at Everton is going to be David Moyes. And look, Manchester United have to play at Everton, and they beat Everton, I think, 4-0 early in the year. It's not going to be easy beating at Goodison Park.
Are awful. Forest away is going to be really, really tough. Everton away is going to be really tough. It's been announced today. I think Martinelli and Saka will be back. Is it end of March, mid-March? So going into that April of Fulham, Everton, Brentford, Ipswich, Palace, they will need Bukayo Saka and Martinelli back fully fit and firing. But Liverpool, for me, it's all in their hands. It is all in their hands. If you want to be Premier League champions, if you want this trophy, you've got to go out and beat these next 3 teams, because the confidence boost that will give to those players, to those fans, it's absolutely... I don't want to say it decides the Premier League, but I also think it does decide the Premier League.
It does. Look, let's face it. If Liverpool win the next 3 games, you're talking about time, and you're talking about 10 games. So it's going to be very difficult for them to drop points. It really is.
Because that when you look at the fixture as well at Anfield, let's say hypothetically, Liverpool are ahead of Arsenal by 3 or 4 points going into that game at Anfield. That becomes the decider. You don't want to have to go into that game knowing it's a decider. Liverpool.
Yeah, you want to go into that game 7-10 points ahead of Arsenal, maybe even 13 points if at all possible, so that even if you lose the game, it doesn't affect you at all.
Want to have the league wrapped up, finished, and completely done by then.
Now, obviously, for the neutral, or the Arsenal fan, me, you want it to actually mean something, but it's possible it might not.
And I think they're still title favourites. I looked at their second half performance against Wolves, and I'll be honest, there was a little bit of fatigue in there. They didn't look all that. The first half, they obviously got the job done. This is the predicted lineup from FootMob for the Liverpool versus Aston Villa game. If Liverpool were hypothetically to go with this team of Darwin Núñez, Diaz, Szoboszlai, Salah, McAllister, Gravenberch, and then the back 4 and a goalkeeper that picks it itself, there's more than enough firepower there. But I've just got a feeling this is going to be a 2-1 or a 1-0 scrape and get out of there and move to the next game.
I'm not so sure about that. Aston Villa is a very good team, a very tough team to beat, and I got to think that it's going to be it's not going to be easy, and I wouldn't be surprised if Aston Villa pulls out a win. I think it's Aston Villa win or a draw in this game. Like I said it was predicted a draw. I still think it's going to be a draw, but I think more Aston Villa a chance for them to win than Liverpool.
Game, and if you're a Liverpool fan, if you're an Arsenal fan, during this title running, the most important thing now is getting the result. It doesn't matter how you do it, even if it's a stinky 1-0, even if it's the most boring 1-0 you've ever seen. Just get those 3 points and extend, because if if Arsenal go into that game against West Ham with a 10-point swing to make up, that is absolutely massive for their confidence. But like I said,
again, but there's nothing they can do about it. Okay, so it's not anything that they need to worry about, in my opinion. They just need to, they need Liverpool to drop points, and even if it's 10 points, just get it back to 7 and start all over again.
So it also works both ways. If Liverpool manage to get the right result, and Liverpool for whatever reason don't, if they bottle it, that will give Arsenal a huge confidence. Villa are no mugs, by the way. That front four, I think Maitland should start instead of Ramsey. Rodgers is a very good player. Rashford as well. Obviously he knows Liverpool very, very well. Watkins scored at the weekend, but they couldn't beat Ipswich. Will they?
They couldn't beat Ipswich with Ipswich playing with 10 men.
Rise to the occasion. Will they pull something out of the bag? It is hopefully going to be a really, really good game. And if they get past that, Manchester City on Sunday is going to be absolutely massive for their confidence. Let me know.
Yeah, if it's a draw with Villa and Arsenal win and pull up 2 points and bring it to 5 points, and then Manchester City beats Liverpool, that means Arsenal have a game in hand and can bring it back to 2 points. So again, but Arsenal has their own problems to deal with. They don't have any strikers, so they have their own problems to deal with.
Your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have hit that subscribe button. We're about, like I said, 7 or 8 subscribers away from 45,000. We're steamrolling our way towards the big 5-0. We will be doing match reactions tomorrow to Manchester City versus Real Madrid, or Real Madrid versus Manchester City, and of course the Aston Villa versus Liverpool game. Make sure you drop a like.
All right, please click like.
I am out.
All right, please click like, share, and subscribe for Henry Talks Football as well as for me. Will Liverpool drop points and let us? We'll see what goes on. Hopefully, for my sake, Aston Villa does us a favor, but they're not obligated to do that. And again, we'll see how it all pans out. Please, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day.